The Celestial Council had made a grave miscalculation when they broadcast their summons across the galaxy, a call for the pure of heart. To join their paradise realm they had expected beings of light, creatures of peace, entities worthy of their divine sanctuary. What they got instead were two humans in a beaten-up cargo vessel, smelling of engine grease and something the Council's sensors couldn't quite identify. Rose stepped off the landing ramp first, combat boots clanging against the crystalline floor. Her red hair was pulled back in a practical bun, and her flight suit bore the scars of 100 close calls. Behind her, Alex carried a duffel bag that suspiciously clanked with every step. "Welcome, travelers," intoned High Celestial Orin, their forms shimmering with ethereal light. "We have summoned you too." "Yeah, we got the spam message," Rose interrupted, scanning the massive hall with tactical precision. "Universal peace, eternal harmony, ascension to higher planes, blah blah. Where's the bathroom?" Arine's luminescence flickered their species equivalent of a blink. There is no need for such crude biological functions here. We exist beyond great. Love that for you." Rose pulled out a handheld scanner. "We're here about the bounty." "Bounty?" Three other Celestials materialized, their voices creating harmonious chords of confusion. "There is no bounty. We seek to elevate deserving species to join our collective consciousness." Alex finally spoke, his voice carrying a dangerous edge that made the temperature in the hall seem to drop. "Funny thing about that, your summons has been dragging ships out of hyperspace for 3 months. 47 vessels, cargo ships, colony transports, even a medical frigate." He set down his bag with a heavy thunk. "You took a ship full of kids heading to New Melbourne." The Celestial's light dimmed. We only call to those who hear the divine frequency. It is an honor to the kids are still in your waiting chambers, aren't they?" Rose's scanner beeped. "Yeah, I'm reading bios. Sector 7, lower levels. Funny place for heaven. They are being prepared for ascension," Orin insisted. "The process requires stop talking." Alex's voice cut through the chamber like a blade. He unzipped the duffel bag, revealing an array of human weapons that made absolutely no sense in a place like this. Plasma cutters designed for asteroid mining, electromagnetic pulse grenades, and something that looked suspiciously like a jury-rigged dimensional destabilizer. "Here's what's going to happen. You're going to release every single being you've summoned, and then you're going to shut down your divine frequency forever." The Celestial's forms began to pulse with agitation. "You do not understand. We are beings of pure energy, evolved beyond physical form. Your primitive weapons cannot harm." Rose pressed a button on her scanner. The Celestial's forms suddenly solidified, becoming uncomfortably corporeal. They looked down at their new physical bodies with something approaching horror. "Quantum anchor," Rose explained casually, "locks energy beings into localized spacetime. Turns out divinity is just really organized photons." She grinned. "And photons can be reorganized." "This is sacrilege." One of the Celestials shrieked, their voice no longer harmonious but distinctly panicked. "We are trying to save species from their violent natures, to elevate them beyond crude physicality." "See, that's your problem," Alex said, assembling what looked like a mining charge. "You think physical existence is something to transcend. But humans, we love being physical. We love the weight of things, the taste of food, the feeling of gravity under our feet." He smiled, and it wasn't friendly. "We especially love the feeling of righteous anger." Rose was already moving toward the corridor her scanner had indicated. "Alex, you've got 10 minutes. More than enough." The Celestials tried to stop her, but their new physical forms were clumsy, uncoordinated. Rose had spent her entire life in gravity wells and cargo holds. She moved like violence itself, every step purposeful, every motion efficient. When one Celestial materialized guards beings of solidified light carrying energy staffs, she went through them like a force of nature. 8 minutes later, she emerged with 47 confused but unharmed children, their ages ranging from 6 to 16. The oldest, a girl named Maya, looked at Rose with awe. "Are you an angel?" Rose laughed, the sound sharp in the crystalline chamber. "Kid, I'm the furthest thing from it." Alex had spent the time wiring the entire sanctum with his improvised explosives. Not enough to destroy humans, didn't do genocide, even to pompous energy beings, but enough to permanently disrupt the dimensional frequencies that allowed this place to exist outside normal space. "Last chance," he told the "Release everyone, shut it down, or we turn your heaven into just another asteroid field. You are monsters," Orin whispered. "We sought to save you from yourselves." "No," Rose said, herding the children toward the ship. "You sought to save yourselves from boredom by playing God. There's a difference." The Celestials had no choice. They opened their quantum gates, releasing hundreds of beings from dozens of species. Ships that had been caught in the divine frequencies suddenly found themselves free, their crews confused but alive. As Rose and Alex's cargo vessel pulled away, the last of the children safely aboard, the celestial sanctum began to collapse in on itself. Not destroyed, but transformed, reduced to a simple space station. Its divine pretensions shattered. Did we just assault heaven? Alex asked, piloting them back toward known space. Nah, Rose replied, checking that the kids were settled in the cargo bay with the emergency supplies. We just reminded some energy beings that evolution isn't about transcending physicality. It's about choosing what kind of being you want to be. Maya appeared in the cockpit doorway. Why did you come for us? The council said we'd all be blessed. Rose turned to look at her. Because humans have a rule, kid. Nobody takes our people. Not gods, not demons, not self-righteous light shows that think they know better. She smiled. They summoned to heaven expecting angels, but Earth sent its demons instead. And in the cold void of space, their battered cargo ship burned toward home, carrying the kind of salvation that could only come from beings who refused to be anything other than defiantly, violently, beautifully human.